my YouTube channel, Mr. Rodi Kamalangu Simpiwe, and thank you so much for watching. And if it's the first time that you're watching, please do subscribe and share with your friends on social media. Also, it is Pride Month this month, hence the Duke, and also my hair is a mess, so like I thought, why not? So what I want to do with this one is a countdown of the most iconic and most memorable and most definitive moments in pop culture this decade, seeing as we've reached the end of the 2010s and next year it's the start of a new decade. I just have to add that as much as I came up with the items on this list, I actually allowed my Twitter followers to be the ones who decide the order of the list. So just to make it more exciting and just to include you guys as well on this video. So without wasting any more of your time, let's just get into it. So it is not a top 10 as you would expect, but it is a top 8. And at number 8, we have the election of Donald Trump as the President of the United States of America. As much as it is politics, but it was also a pop culture moment because Donald Trump was just a billionaire businessman before he actually became a politician. And the reality shows and all of that. So really, personally, I was taken aback when he entered the race because I thought, okay, it was weird. But anyway, he was elected despite losing the popular vote, he was elected as president by the Electoral College in America. I don't really know how that works, so I won't really delve into it. And I won't even lie to you. In hindsight, it has been entertaining watching him take over America, being the president, and the stuff that he says and the things that he tweets. Really, it's a joke. And yeah, his term is coming to an end next year, and we'll see how that goes again. If he's gonna run for second term or maybe someone else is gonna run. But I feel like because we've also been seeing a lot of personalities claim that they are gonna run for president as well in the coming years. So good luck, America. Good luck. At number 7, we have the royal wedding between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, who also, might I add, is a person of color. So I feel like that is the main reason why really all the attention was drawn to their union, because it had never happened before that a person who is non-white had married into the royal family of Britain. The wedding, it looked magical and it was just spectacular. It was a moment, Meghan being American, Meghan being a person of color. It was like, we want to see how this is going to turn out. And, people kept claiming that the Queen is not happy about it, but we don't really know. And also, the British media has been very hostile and very racist, if I may say, towards Meghan. It's very sad, but that is the reality of it, really. So, moving along swiftly. At number 6, we have the rise to superstardom of Ariana Grande. Now, I felt that Ariana is one of the phenomenons, pop culture-wise, of the 2010s because, she launched her solo career in 2013. Her debut album debuted at number 1, yours truly. And since then, there was no stopping her. The following year, she released another album, and in 2016, another album, which is the actual album that got me to become a stan, basically. Dangerous Woman. I felt like it's one of her best albums. And there was actually the time where during the tour of the album, the tragic event where a terrorist attack took place at her concert and about 22 people died and a lot of people were injured. And many thought that she was maybe going to take a backseat from her music career and just, because it was a traumatic experience for her, I imagine. But she didn't let that slow her down. The next year she released another album, Sweetener, which earned her first Grammy Award, and then a few months later, another album, Thank You Next, which earned her two number one albums, and I feel it's gonna earn her more Grammys. So Ariana Grande deserves to be on this list without a doubt. Number five, we have Marvel Pictures, or Marvel movies, or whatever. You know, the whole superhero shebang. As much as I'm not a movie person, but I had to include this on this list because I cannot deny that Marvel Pictures came the fuck through this decade. They have the highest grossing movie of all time right now, which is Avengers Endgame, and the fifth highest grossing movie of all time, which is also Avengers Infinity War. They have a lot of films in between in the list of the highest grossing movies of all time. So I had to include them because even though I don't watch the movies, but I know of them and I know the superhero Iron Man, Thor, Captain Marvel, Captain America, even the villains, Thanos, like I know them, but as much as I don't watch the movies because they are iconic. But the one that stood out for me the most was when Black Panther was released last year. Like this was seen as a black pride event, especially for black Americans, because you know the movie is set in the fictional country in Africa, Wakanda, where everything is futuristic and black excellence. I feel like that's what the movie epitomized, and that is why black people took so much pride in it, and they came out in numbers to watch it, dressed in their finest African attire. Even in South Africa, we came out in numbers to watch. Even I went to watch the movie, and it also the soundtrack featured one of our own, Babes Zoduma, on it. So you know we had to go out and we had to support, and you know it featured one of our languages as well, which is this is Xhosa. And as much as it was butchered, but it was still like representation. So it was amazing to see black people united in one thing. So I just had to include Marvel Pictures and the movie Black Panther on this list. At number four, we have my most favorite item on this list. And like I mentioned earlier, I allowed my Twitter followers to be the ones who decide the order of the list, but it was for me, Game of Thrones would have been higher up on this list because it was just a moment, like 8 seasons of pure amazement. Like everything about, you know, when you talk about cultural impact, that is what Game of Thrones had throughout its run. I mean, it is not the most awarded TV series of all time at the Emmys for no reason, you know. It was really that. As much as the last season was disappointing to many of the fans, there's no denying the fact that Game of Thrones is the best TV series of all time. You know, it was gut wrenching throughout. Like the characters, they became, you know, part of our lives. Like this thing would have you lose your sleep because you were like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen to my favorite character? What's gonna happen to this character? Like, you know, you were always, and when the season has ended, you can't wait for the next season. You know, and it was just super amazing. It was like ups and downs, a whirlwind of emotions. People were dying. Everything was just like Academy Award, just Academy Award. The Game of Thrones was truly that, and will always be that. Now, at number three is another huge superstar in pop music, both figuratively and literally. Like Adele Atkins is at number three, and you know, she is a pop culture phenomenon. She is like her rise to superstardom was such a moment. Like I'm gonna keep using the word moment, but it was just very that. You know, her rise to superstardom was very gradual, which is why I believe that Adele is gonna be around for a long time. Like it wasn't just an overnight boom. She's here, she's big, because those really die with the quickness they really emerged with. Adele launched her music career in 2008 with her debut album 19. The sales were very modest, and you know she came out with a second album, her sophomore album, in 2011. January she released 21, which again the first week sales were very modest, like under 350K, which is normal for most musicians really, especially at that time. And I don't know where or when, but the album just boom, it exploded, and it just was everywhere, and it was selling like hotcakes. And even now, it's still selling like hot. I don't even know who's still buying the album because I feel like everyone now has the album. Everyone has heard the album, but like it has since sold more than 30 million copies worldwide. Like that is just bananas, making it the highest selling album of the 21st century. Like Miss Adele went on to break Beyonce's, not break, but actually match Beyonce's record for most Grammys won in one night with that album, which is six. I mean, I hate her for that, but still, you can't deny the greatness. You can't deny the impact that the album has had. And then, fast forward to 2015, Adele again releases her follow up album 25, and this time, the first week sales are over 3 million copies sold in the US alone. And the album has since sold over 22 million copies worldwide since then. So again, Adele deserves to be on this list. She just blew up in the 2010s. I'm so interested to see how she's gonna fare with the follow up with the album that is upcoming next. At number two, we have streaming sites or streaming services. It's either for music or film and television. Including the likes of Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Netflix, Hulu, Showmax, you name them, like Amazon Prime. There's quite a lot to choose from, whether it's for music or for film and television. And I feel like this was birthed in the 2010s, and it has reshaped the form in which we consume music and film and television. You want to watch something, you go on YouTube. You want to watch something, a film or television, you go on Netflix, you go on Showmax, you go on the DSTV Now app. You know, you want to listen to music. Gone are the days of WebTrick and all those other sites where we downloaded MP3 music files. Now you go and you listen to the whole album. Like you just go on your favorite music streaming app, type in the artist, it comes up, you listen, you enjoy, and you pay your monthly subscription. It's hassle free and it's super convenient. So as much as I'm surprised that it is at number two on this list, but it makes sense because it has just made our lives so much easier when it comes to consuming our favorite music and our favorite movies and our favorite films and television programs. Really. The moment we've all been waiting for. And number one, it is none other than Beyonce. Again, another musical giant, another musical icon making this list. And, deservedly so. As much as Beyonce dominated the 2000s, she didn't slow down this decade. Her star power became even bigger than it already was. I mean, she kicked off the era with being the first black woman to headline Glastonbury Festival in the UK. And then shortly after that drops her album 4. Shortly after that announces her pregnancy with Blue Ivy, which was such a moment. And then fast forward to 2013, she's headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. She released her documentary Life is But a Dream in 2013 when she appeared in the movie, did voice acting rather in the movie Epic as Queen Tara. You think 2013, again, a moment which I think is the biggest moment of her entire 20-year career when she dropped her self-titled album Beyonce. Like the world stopped on the 13th of December 2013. And it just redefined everything in music, the way that music is rolled out. The day in which music is released, it changed from Tuesday to Friday because of Beyonce, the album. Like she rewrote the rules, she made surprise music releases a thing. J, a trailblazer, a trendsetter through and through. So again, fast forward to 2016, Beyonce, she appears at the Super Bowl again, surprise dropping her single Formation, which was just a gag because it was very politically driven, and it started a conversation, and it was her really just speaking up for Black America through her music, and it was just amazing to see. And she continued to drop Lemonade shortly after that. Again, another monumental album, another monumental body of work in music, and it is just well respected. So Beyonce deserves to be on this list, and I think that in the coming decade she won't be slowing down. I feel like if I am still making YouTube videos at the time, she will be on this list again. You know, I'm not even done. 2018, she headlines Coachella. Again, another first black woman moment where she was the first black woman to do so. And it was just, again, another celebration of black culture. It was great. It was amazing. You know, you say it was hailed by critics. Just this year, she appeared on one of the biggest movies of the year as Nala, voicing Nala in The Lion King. So again, Beyonce is just, she is the 2010s, and that is why she is number one on this list right now. So guys, we reached the end of my list, we reached the end of this video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and share with your people on social media. My Twitter handle is thirdwardsims, and my Instagram handle is @thirdward.sims. So until next time.